Hey broski, how far, bro? Another week, another week. How are you feeling, my G?
Well, I mean, the weekend was great, but coming down with a bit of something today. But yeah, I'm
It
sure.
was too much excitement, too much shouting and over enjoyment. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Relax, relax. Take it, touch. Take it, touch.
It's more like old age, actually.
Take it, touch. Let's kick it off as always with our favorite league, National Basketball Association. Nothing much. That's a joke. It's actually not a favorite. We love the NBA, but it's actually giving like no life right now. We're waiting on February 5th for potential activities. Giannis on the trade block or allegedly on the trade block.
Mhm.
Ja being shopped around. Do you think these guys are going to move before the deadline, or are we going to have another boring?
I hope Milwaukee actually trade Giannis. Sha. Like I don't really see any point of keeping him there. You should just trade him and get assets. The assets. But yeah,
But when you say assets, do you mean players or do you mean like draft picks? Like what do
yeah,
you
draft picks. They need to rebuild that
so
roster.
you so the whole because again, sorry, the Knicks are one of the teams that are in huge conversation and obviously it would involve how Anthony Towns going the other way, meaning the Minnesota will be saddled with like another superstar who, you know, is not going to be as good as Giannis. And if you're not winning with Giannis, like how are you going to win with another superstar? Or is it full on rebuild? Give me some first round draft picks and
I think they need to rebuild, get draft picks. Like they are not in a position to compete and not anytime soon. So they should just accept a rebuild and move on.
it's interesting. The teams that have that capacity to do such kind of like reset button are like OKC, um, San Antonio, who have like a lot of draft capital and a lot of some young players that would be interesting for a rebuilding team. We'll see again. Like I said, the Knicks have been headlined for interest, but I don't know if they are. That's going to be the final destination. I know Giannis likes or is intrigued by that location, but we will see that. Also, the All Star game is scheduled for February 15th. The lineup was quite interesting because I think from the West Coast they were like no, from the East Coast they were like four guards that made it, or shooting guards, point guards, and then they are doing this new formation when it is the US versus the
Rest of
world,
the
which
world.
is what they used to do for um, the the rookie challenge and the up and like the sophomores, those two classes. So we'll see how that plays out. Basically, the world team has like all these top players: Luka, SGA, Giannis, Nikola Jokic. I'm missing somebody, but I cannot remember who he is. Whereas the US team has like all these smaller guys: Jalen Brown,
Yeah.
Brunson, who else?
I just know Jalen Brown is like the tallest guy.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So it'll be very interesting to see how this game pans out because obviously, like whoever is coaching that team for the USA, like within the first minute, is going to make some subs. So we're literally going to see the lineup do a tip off, and then everybody just swaps them again. So anyhow, it'll be interesting
Yeah.
when that game comes up. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. The next, we wanted to talk a little bit about NCA.
Yeah, I mean, as I predicted last week, after you held my neck to choose Indiana won the college football playoff national championship, and yeah, congratulations to them. Congratulations to the coach, Kurt Signetti, and QB Fernando Mendoza. Um, Something interesting just struck me, right? Like Arthur Smith, former offensive coordinator at Pittsburgh, I believe, Pittsburgh Steelers. He was just hired by Ohio State as the new OC there. Like his dad is a billionaire, like literally one of the FedEx founders. Like, do you think that's a low key NIL loophole, quote unquote, Nepo hire? Like just a conspiracy theory. Anyway.
What? So you think they're going to be funneling funds with this guy, or what?
I'm just like, Daddy, I want my team to do well. Send funds. You don't think?
Any ties with Ohio State, just out of curiosity?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was interesting because in my mind, I'm like, why are you going all the way to NCAA? Like, you definitely could have found another like
Cody.
gig in the NFL. Or he stayed on, maybe, or was he fired?
I'm not sure, but I, I, I believe he was fired. Like, because why would he leave and go to college? Well, yeah, like
Because he did
that's
that.
just
And
an aside. In more important news, moving on to like the pros NFL. Um, the Super Bowl teams have been finalized. It's going to be the New England Patriots against the Seattle Seahawks. And yeah, so congratulations to um, Drake May and his team, and of course Sam Darnold. Um, I watched both championship games. The Broncos might feel like, yeah, the coach made one big error that probably swung the game towards the Patriots, but I think it was more that I don't even know if it was a fumble or intentional. Like it was an intentional grounding call against the backup QB for the Broncos, who was starting the game as Bo Nix is injured, and just essentially gave the Patriots instant red zone, right? So I don't know. Like it seemed like a brain dead moment, and they live to regret it in the end. So yeah, but the other side, the NFC Championship game, really interesting, very entertaining. Like both teams played well, like as I'd expect, because I mean you have one of the stingiest defenses going against one of the best scoring offenses in the entire NFL, not just the NFC, and yeah, like
they had
Darnold,
their starting quarterback injured, so nobody was expecting that kind of like
yeah.
offensive performance realistically.
Well, I mean, like Sam Darnold really like showed hands. Like I must say, like all the doubters have essentially been silenced at this point because like he has done it in a playoff game against Matt Stafford, who is one of the like most experienced, best quarterbacks still playing in the NFL. So yeah, congrats to them. Uh we will be, keeping you guys up to date with the Super Bowl when it happens, which is I think 2 weeks from now, 2 Sundays from now. Yeah. Um,
Forgot to shout out your boy for making
yeah, I
oh,
mean, I'll
oh, bro.
Shadow Sanders, pick up, Cleveland Browns.
Please give him context. Give us context. How many players are injured? How many players rejected the opportunity?
When God is for you, nobody can stand against you. It's all about like in Shadow's case, like making the Pro Bowl, right? So
Was any other rookie quarterback?
Josh Allen and Justin Herbert are banged up, right? Bonix is injured, Patrick Mahomes is injured, and there's one more name that I'm blanking on right now. But yeah, next up was Shador, and by all means, I believe he will oblige. Does he have a choice? Well, yeah, like it'll be good to see, Shador, perfect timing. Currently chilling in Paris, by the way, on break with his brother Shiloh. So yeah, I'm sure he'll
Yeah, I just pull up this weekend.
for
Call
sure.
your boy, tell him to host us, bro. Tell him to host us.
Oh please. Uh, Mike McCarthy replaces Mike Tomlin as the new Steelers head
That's
coach.
actually just a joke.
The
He's going to
Pittsburgh
be bro,
native.
one season.
Honestly, I don't really get the decision, but like it's just weird to me because like I think Mike Tomlin's last Super Bowl was against. No, okay, probably not his last Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl Mike Tomlin won, right, for Pittsburgh was against Mike McCarthy's Green Bay Packers, and that's the last time Mike McCarthy was in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I don't know what the rationale is behind that hire, but
Yeah, I would have thought they went for like a young defensive like stud, and they just rebuilt, like pushed hard reset, probably traded away TJ Watt and just said like, hey, like we're just going to go draft capital heavy and start building up our program again. Like they have a clear DNA, but I'm questioning how Mike McCarthy fits into that. Someone who's like a quote unquote offensive coach, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, that point that you brought about Green Bay is very like point. I think they only won one Super Bowl, and for him to win one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers in his prime is like you read winning one Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes. Like it's unbelievable, and it should be criminal for that guy to even still be sniffing around the league. Like, but hey, we'll not talk about the privileged people in the NFL. We all know Rooney Law isn't Cleveland your team sort of struggling with this whole situation where they basically can't hire anybody because they're not compliant.
Sorry.
Cleveland your team like they're not compliant to the I think it's called Looney or Rooney rule, the one that we basically have to hire, like interview minorities.
I believe they are. I believe they are. But people are pulling out of their head.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's why a lot of people are pulling out because it's like they couldn't offer or make a decision because they hadn't interviewed enough coaches like minority backgrounds.
What I'm hearing is I don't know, they have this weird like data driven method of recruitment where they're asking these guys to like write essays, fill out questionnaires and stuff, and it's just really taking a lot of people off, especially people who think they have like better prospects elsewhere. So like, I don't know what's going on in the Cleveland front office, but are we?
Maybe they're trying to be serious.
I don't think we are surprised to hear that Cleveland is acting funny. But yeah, Jesse Minter, new Ravens head coach, defensive guy, also Harbor affiliated, like Mike McDonald at Seattle Seahawks. He was the DC at the Chargers, and of course, like Chargers Jim, right? I think he had a stint in college with Michigan as well, also with Jim Harbaugh, right? And I believe he is a former Raven that was also like he has like prior John Harbaugh affiliation. So yeah, he's we're looking forward to seeing how solid the Ravens will look defensively next season because this season wasn't it. Yeah, I think we can go to football at this time.
Make segment. Yeah, I think it was quite an interesting week of ball. I think City was one of the first teams to kick off. 2-0 win. Semedo another goal. Wow. He even had his debut, which was good for him to get on the pitch, and I think he had like a really good performance.
Wolves, not getting carried away.
Yeah. Who did Liverpool play?
Bournemouth. They lost 3-2.
3-2. I remember watching that game.
Yeah.
Last two goals to be considered like still like back like in short concession. Everybody was like talking about how it took them forever to get Joe Gomez off and bring somebody on, like that whole physio trying to evaluate if Joe Gomez, the guy that's always on the injury table, if he's ready to go back in. Funny. But yeah, that last minute goal was definitely worthwhile for them because what his name, Van Dijk was still doing a lot of bomb shaking. As always.
I'm just tired of that
guy. Chelsea.
Chelsea won their game. I believe they played Brentford. Was it Brentford?
Yes.
No, I think it was
Palace. 3-0.
3-1. They conceded. I remember someone was crying about his FPL because I think he had a Chelsea defender or something. So yeah.
Aston Villa beat Newcastle 2-0.
Yeah.
That game was pretty good. That game was really good, actually.
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch it, bro.
Yeah. The Ollie Watkins and can't remember the last guy, but it was clearly like Newcastle had all the opportunities, but they just didn't bury any of the chances. So, yeah, both our teams played this weekend. Do you want to tell us how it went? Recap it, bro.
I mean, there was no bigger game this weekend, and I know everybody that has watched this long is just waiting for us to get to it. So yes, without further ado, sorry, my voice might be a bit croaky today.
It's all
Dealing with,
good. We can hear you. We can hear you.
but yeah, like Arsenal United, like, bruh, going into that game, I was not feeling very optimistic, honestly. 'Cause I didn't, I didn't really want to like, get my hopes up after that performance against City. So I didn't watch the City game, and I didn't want to jinx it. So I didn't watch this Arsenal game live, right? But I ended up watching the replay after. So I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, like it was interesting to me seeing Gyökeres get benched in this game, like, because I thought Gabriel Jesus just started during the week, like, oh, okay, get fitness, let's rest Gyökeres ahead of the weekend. But Ateta decided to bench Gyökeres, and I mean that late chance that he had, I can understand why they made that decision to bench him. But yeah, like from what I saw, United played well in spells during the game. It wasn't as dominant as the City, performance, but it seemed to me like overall, like speaking, like look after like watching the whole game, I felt like United came out. United seemed to take the game more seriously than Arsenal did. Arsenal didn't take the game as seriously as I would expect somebody who is, trying to win the league to take it. Like it seemed to me like when, like, especially when like Arsenal scored that first goal, like I don't know, it just kind of felt like, yeah, they just, okay, we got this type shit. Like after the Martinez one goal went in, and like it didn't take long before
I don't think it was the Martinez on goal. No? Was it?
they gave it
It
as a
was given
Martinez.
as Timber.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I don't know, like whatever it was. Well, I saw Martinez one go on the notification. Maybe that was updated. But yeah, like I don't know, Zubimendi brain dead decision. I don't know what he was doing. Well, Mbomo did the rest. Dogu, Garrett Dogu, Ballon Dogu, whatever you want to call him. Like,
I love Dogu. Wow.
whatever
Bro,
you want
like,
to call
why
him.
even say this name when you're one of the biggest haters of Dogu? But
Bro,
I know
let
what
me
you're going
land.
to say.
Let
Dogu
me
now plays on the right wing, so this is
let
natural
me
position. This is
let
where
me
they should have
let
scouted him at.
me
Not
land.
a left winger.
Are you going to let me land? Like, so I like every bad thing I've said about Dogu. I think today is the day I take it back officially on air.
Okay. Okay.
Like, yeah, I made up my mind on him too soon, and we shouldn't do that with young players. Like, he clearly has been putting in the work, trying to develop himself, and he has improved his game, and it has definitely helped him like playing as a winger rather than a wing back or left back or whatever he was playing initially. Like another case of Manchester United misprofiling players. Well, yeah.
I still think, and this is me as an Arsenal fan assessing like you guys' play and your
Mhm.
setup, leading to a follow-on question. I don't think he plays as a right winger. I think he plays as a left winger. I think he plays almost as, I mean, you'd say it's right mid, but it's almost like that defensive support on that right side. Like he's that guy that we don't expect him to be our flying attacker. He can do a job, which is what he showed with that hit.
Yeah,
It's
like
not
he
someone we're
really has
saying
the ability
we're
to
going
go
to
up and
play
down.
on that left side.
Like he marshals that whole left side. It's like I get what you're saying. Like he's not like your cut inside type. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's also that freedom of not having the full defensive responsibility of the opponent winger. Like
Yeah.
he can contribute from, oh, I've been overloaded. I'm going to come back and support, but not being that last line of once you go by me, you're in behind or you're coming at the
I get.
center backs. Is kind of where I think he's flourishing. But ultimately, I think is your midfield. The midfield three is really connected. Casemiro is looking really, really good because of a lot of work that Mino is doing from
Yeah.
a out of possession
Meno
work.
has covered the most distance in the past two games. Like each game, he covered the most distance on the pitch, like all the players on the pitch. So credit to him. Like, his
And
career.
then Bruno is
On
obviously like your supreme playmaker, ensuring that everything that goes through him is being
always.
is
Like,
okay. And then
where would be without Bruno?
obviously Mbuemo and Ahmad are to me are, are what Carrick has decided to build your attack around. Mbuemo more from a clinical and also like breaking the lines perspective, but Ahmad for that verticality, ability to sort of just marshal the whole right side and just really own it. Like if I think about how Saka played versus Ahmad in that game, I mean Ahmad wasn't like a continuous threat, but when Ahmad threatened, I was nervous. Whereas when Saka threatened, it was kind of like, like are you really going to actually make the right decision? There are many times where you'll be like, hey, like you need to take a shot, you need to get that ball off, and he's still trying to do a touch or do a dribble and things like that. And I'm looking at the stats and I'm saying, hey, you can't hide behind those anymore, bro. Like you are no longer a developing player. You have to be performing.
Yeah.
But yeah, onwards to Arsenal. Like I think altogether, like we know our flaws, our issues. Like the defense is getting really like porous, and defense that we were looking at and saying that wasn't going to concede or was going to challenge for the least number of Premier League conceded goals now looks like you can put 4 or 5 through them, and nobody's going to stop you. My roommate always shouts and says that he's waiting for Calafiori to return back because he feels like he's going to be a different maker. But I think what they did well to start was defend as a unit. Right now, what they're doing is doing a little bit more hero balls, and individual errors are really costing us. So, really need to tidy things, clean things up. Uh, and obviously, our creative engine is really what I think we struggle or we struggle with, whether it's Eze, whether it's Odegaard, like it's really not moving and we're not getting a lot of
So
productivity outside.
someone said something yesterday that I want to kind of get your opinion on, and of course, like in the comments, guys, let's know what you think. Um, the person said, if you look at United, right, we had Umbuemo, Bruno, right? These guys can like carry the game and just like, like if the game is deadlocked, they can just like change it in an instant and come up with
Yeah.
something, right? Yeah, and like Cunha, like he also said, like Cunha came off the bench, like so that level of star power, quote unquote, did drop when Mbeumo went off, and like it feels like Arsenal has like very good players that are more system players than like people that can just like be talismanic and just take the game over by themselves and just like will Arsenal to a win in that kind of situation, right? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think about what you're saying, and the, again, my roommate and I were talking about this. I made the comment and said Saka is like a player that's going to give you a 7.5 consistently,
Yeah.
like on average through the season. Not going to be a game changer. He's not going to be like or perform badly. He will have some offensive chances. He might get an assist here and there. He's not getting a lot of goals. But if I flip the script and look at United and I say who is your Mr. Consistent, and I would say that's Bruno, who is giving you like an 8, in fact, like an 8.2 performance consistently. He's going to get at least a goal and an assist every other game, minimum per season. And he's been doing this for seasons. So yeah, I do agree. Like I start to look at all the uh, talk about Arsenal, re-upping all these guys and the kind of contracts they're signing. They're signing contracts like Salah, C Ronaldo, Prime Ronaldo, Rooney type of guys, like outputting like 30 plus goal contributions. And I'm not seeing those stats. So I do question it and I do ask if that, I don't think that is going to be the issue as to why Arsenal doesn't win or is successful this season because they built it for a squad rather than individual risk and things like that. But yeah, I do question if this team is built for true long consistent performance in the top leagues.
Fair enough. I think this is a good place to end it. I think I'll just end with this. Like, we beat City, we beat Arsenal, right? Ojora has cancelled. You guys are 4 points ahead of City now. The ball is in your court. Like, as far as I know, I don't have any favorites. Anybody that wins, I really don't care. Arsenal, City, it's not my concern. But may the best team win is all I'll just say. Or the better.
So what's the point difference between you guys and them? Like, isn't it like 5 points or something like that?
Between Arsenal and United.
You and City.
We are 12 behind you, so 8 points.
Yeah, so you guys are very much in it, no? Like, everybody should choke their head and say they're all.
I'm not getting my
Everybody should hear and say they're all among.
We've never had a problem.
No, I need it. I need that dog fight. I need City to feel like there's threat of them losing that second position, because if they start hunting us, that's when Arsenal are going to capitulate. And bro, trust and believe, if it's looking dire in the Premier League, we will have to turn off red flags. Like, we'll have to pause. Like, I cannot deal.
No, like, a couple of weeks, all we're talking about is mostly ball.
I cannot do it, bro. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling everybody. Like, I will have to retire from red flags because I'll stop watching ball. Like, I'll just stop. Like, I'll stop watching sports.
Oh man, it's the hope that kills at the end of the day.
It's really the hope that kills.
I refuse to give myself hope, man. Like, let me see how we do against smaller teams, right? Then I can say, okay, maybe there's a title charge to actually take seriously. But until then, I'm not getting ahead of myself.
Let's end it there. That was a little too emotional, bro.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching up to this point, and thanks for all your likes. Keep sharing, subscribing. Just keep supporting the channel. We'll keep trying to bring you guys content. Come rain, come shine, come snowstorm, come sickness. Like,
except Arsenal L's, please. This was a hard episode, guys. Please console me small in the comments.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye.